Hey guys, it's Kaz here, and today I'm doing the mental health on Booktube tag. This was created by Nicole over at Beautiful Chaos of Books, Simone over at Me, Simone and I, and Victoria at What Victoria Read, who are the hosts of the MentalHealthAthon. So, this tag is all about mental health, and Nicole was the one that tagged me. So question 1 is, why do you read books about mental health or featuring characters living, that's not how you say word, is it? Why do you read books about mental health or featuring characters living with mental illness? So, for me, I just like reading books that have sustenance and have things about them, and a lot of the time that is mental health, mental illness, hardships and good ships and bad ships and good times. I just think it adds more to the story. I don't particularly go out of my way to like specifically look for mental health books a lot of the times. They just happen to be the ones that I enjoy. I just think reading books that actually have real life, real world issues in is just more interesting than just reading something that's just blah, nothingness. So question 2 is, what aspects of mental health or mental illness do you wish were discussed more in books? So for me personally, I think I would like to see more of after the process. You see a lot of books, they deal with people finding out that they have certain mental illnesses, the discovery, the trying to work it out, but you don't really see after that, 5 years in the future, 10 years in the future, when they're just living the best life and also happen to have a mental illness. It's just something you don't really see. So just day-to-day life, chilling, showing that they can just be people and high functioning normality, rather than just showing the bad side of it and people having a bad time. Because so many people in the real world live with mental illnesses and they just, yeah, sometimes it might be a little bit shit, but most of the time they can deal with it and that's fine. Whether it's because of medication, whether it's because of therapy, whether it's just because they've kind of learned to deal with it more because they've had it for longer. So yeah, I would like to see more after rather than just during, finding out because something really big has happened. So question 3 is, do you read any non-YA contemporary books that talk about mental health / mental illness, e.g. non-fiction, classics, etc.? So first of all, no to classics because I'm not a classics fan, but yes to reading books that are not YA contemporary but also have mental illness things happening in them. Most of the non-fiction I read is, well, it's either polar or like true crime or mental health, that sort of thing. So I definitely read it in non-fiction. And then, you know, other books, fantasy or adult books. I don't really read a lot of thrillers or horrors or anything anyway, but in what I do read, I do see a lot of mental health rep in there, not just the YA contemporary. Graphic novels, there's another one, definitely. So question 4 is, have you ever read a mental health book which has had a profound impact on you, and if so, which one? So let me real quick talk about One of Us by Osne Sayestad. This book, this actual book, I read it a few years ago. I'm sure you don't want to, but if you did want to go back and see that, I literally cried throughout the whole talk about this for about 5 minutes in my wrap up because it had such a profound impact on me. This doesn't, it's not like a specific mental health book, but it is about the massacre that happened in Norway in 2011 where Anders Breivik set bombs off at the government headquarters in Oslo. Then when everyone was there trying to deal with that, he went over to an island where loads of young people were there who were part of a political party that he wasn't a fan of, and he just killed a lot of people on this island. And this book goes into so much detail. It goes into his life, but it also goes into the life of the victims. And when you're reading it, you hear about them growing up, their aspirations, their thoughts and feelings, their family. And it's just so emotional. And then afterwards you get the trial as well, and some of the victims that survived and how they're dealing with it. Obviously there's a lot of mental health talking in that bit because you're dealing with surviving something this massive. Obviously you got the mental health of the guy that did it, But this book is so much about the people, the victims, and who they were, and then how they dealt with it, the people that survived afterwards, and it's amazing. I didn't read or watch any sort of true crime thing for months and months and months after I read this, because I just couldn't. I was like, why am I reading or watching stuff about somebody that does this rather than focusing on the victims like this book did? And yeah, it definitely stayed with me. So question 5 is, who are some of your favourite creators who talk openly about mental health? So the people that I've seen do this are talking about Booktubers, but I'm not going to, because the last question is tag Booktubers that talk about mental health. So in this one I'm going to say Molly Burke. She is a blind YouTuber and she talks a lot about how that affects her. I enjoy the sort of story time, real life, her talking about herself videos, and don't necessarily watch her like fashiony ones a lot, but she definitely talks a lot about mental health and how it affects her, the fact that she's blind. Also, I know there's been loads of controversy recently. I'm not going to talk about it because this is Booktube, but Dissociated, I've been watching their channel for over a year, and they talk about DID, dissociative identity disorder, and their channel is very, very informational and talks a lot about what it is, what it means, how it affects mental health, etc. Also, this might seem like a really weird one, but Jackmate, he always mentions if he's not uploading because he's had a bad mental health time. He doesn't go into it, but the fact that he just acknowledges it, and he's a man, is something that you don't see a lot. He's just like, guys, look, not got great mental health at the moment, so not uploading, or this is why I'm doing this. And I think it's good that he just mentions it, just in passing. So question 6 is, have you ever read a mental health book which negatively portrays mental health? If so, which one? I have. I'm not 100% sure. I think it's called There Will Be Blood, or Written in Blood. It might be called Written in Blood. I'll put it here anyway. I unhauled it a little while ago. But this book was just not it. Basically, it's one of those thrillers that's a cop and he's going after a murderer, but about 10 pages in I knew that him and the murderer was the same person, just different personalities. But the way it was done was so bad. Not even just that I knew the twist, but it didn't talk about mental health properly in any sort of way. It used religion as a crutch to show, basically at the end, you're not going to read it, basically at the end, the cop guy and his partner cop are obviously going after the killer, but then it's him, and then his partner cop shoots him and he says, hey, oh, I know you did all these killings, but you're Christian, so it's fine, you'll go to heaven. And it didn't talk anything about the mental health aspects, anything about what mental health or mental illness the guy even had. It didn't even try and explain what he was going through in any sort of way. It was just really bad. So yeah, don't read that. You're probably not going to. I've just told you the whole storyline. Really bad. So question 7 is, what is your favourite book, series or genre to read when you are struggling with your mental health? So I don't really have a specific thing that I read. It's like a side note, I'm a very closed off, built up all them walls type of you ain't gonna know anything about me type of thing. I mean, anybody that I've been close to on Booktube right now, think about it. What do you actually know about me? Fuck all. Because I'm very private, and it's not necessarily a good thing. I'm very insular. I don't talk about my feelings. I'm like, bloop. I'm very good at crying. My tears will just come at the most inopportune moments if I'm angry or sad or frustrated or just any sort of slight feeling. Like the tears will just pop out. But other than that, I don't like vocalize a lot about what I'm feeling. Even at school, I was the agony aunt. All my friends came to me to tell me their feelings, their problems. I would sort them out and send them on their merry way. But yeah, I don't really have a specific thing or genre or book that I turn to. You guys know that I'm all about just taboo dark stuff. So does that count? It's like contemporary that has some dark shit going on as well. I enjoy. But then I enjoy comics. But then I enjoy sometimes thinking, I don't want to read at the moment, fuck it, I'll watch Netflix. You know, I don't really have a specific go-to genre. It's not a thing. I mean, even the whole reading taboo contemporary is more just if I'm in the mood to read it rather than I'm feeling bad myself. Who knows? Question 8 is there any mental health book you wish your younger self could have read? And no, I was a reader at a young age and then I didn't read for a big period of time and then I read again, as you can see. But I think growing up I had a pretty decent amount of mental health books reading. Basically, if you're English you might know this, Jacqueline Wilson exists and her books deal with, pretty much every single one of her books deals with some sort of mental health aspect. So I was like all up in that shit. She has books about loss and grief. There's one with a, let me just get it, just as a few examples, the Girls series is all about teenage girls and the sort of mental health stuff they have to deal with. Tracy Beaker obviously is in a child's home because her mum's kind of abandoned her and she's dealing with the mental health and trying to portray her mum as this fancy movie star that left her because she's really popular and doing movies, but that's not true. My Sister Jodie is about loss in family. The Illustrated Mum is about kids dealing with the fact that their mum is bipolar. So you know what, as a kid I was very much up with all the mental health rep. Now I've just got a pile of Jacqueline Wilson books on the floor because I can't bother to put them back. So question 8 is there any mental health book you wish, no that's not, I've already done that one, that's literally what we just said. Question 9 is there a mental health book which you are yet to but want to read? And obviously there are loads. Every book that's going to be in my mental health on TBR, of course. But also, I didn't realise this until watching everybody's videos, but Holly Bourne. Every single one of the hosts of MentalHealthAthon mentioned Holly Bourne's books, so I'm very intrigued. I've seen the books in the works quite a lot and I've been a little bit like, I don't know, I've kind of heard about them, but hey, if they're still there when lockdown stops in about 4 years, then maybe I'll pick them up because I'm intrigued. And question 10 is tag some fellow booktubers that talk about mental health on their channel. So first of all, R. Jensen tagged. If you didn't know, R quite recently, a few weeks ago, came out with a original tag. That's not even how you English, an original tag, it's not a original tag. An original tag about the medication they use. It's called the medication book tag, something like that, because they use medication to help with their mental health stuff. So that's the thing, check that out. Maybe even do that tag during the MentalHealthAthon. It fits, you know. If it fits, it sits. If it fits, do it. That's the one. Who else? I'm trying to think about who hasn't been tagged in this already. Because me and the girls that created MentalHealthAthon, we move in the same circles, so I feel like everyone's been tagged. I'm also going to tag Connor Booktube. I'm not 100% sure if he's doing the MentalHealthAthon because it's about 1,000 different readathons in May, but if you are, then do the tag. If you're not, do the tag. Do the tag. And you know what? I'm also going to tag Kate, Booktube bitch. She's come back, she's rebranded her channel. Here you go, here's a video for you to do. So yeah, there we go, let me know down below, blah blah blah. So yeah, there we go, let me know down below if you are participating in the MentalHealthAthon in May. I don't even know when I'm putting this up, maybe it's already started. Are you participating? Who knows? Let me know. If this is your first video by me and you enjoy it, then please check out some of the others. And if you continue to enjoy, then please subscribe, that'd be awesome. Anyway guys, I'll see you in a few days with another video.